record to them. Okay. All right. So let's just do a little quickie review on what we looked at last week. So when you're looking at your card, if you take a look, remember we did the Shema, then we said that line, V'yihi Noam Hashem Elokeinu, and it was talking about, remember we said we even see that line before you do the Hanukkah candles, people often say it, and even before you make challah. And what did we say that line meant? Let me look for my translation. And let the pleasantness of my master, our God, be upon us and establish the work of our hands upon us and establish it, the work of our hands. So we said the reason why it talks about hands and establish. So what you're trying to do is really make Hashem, you're asking him like, please Hashem, whatever I do, let it have continuity, let it have endurance, you know? And what was it that, where was the first time this line is said? It's in the Torah. Moshe says it when he builds the Beis Hamikdash, not the Beis Hamikdash, sorry, the Mishkan, when the Mishkan is being built. And what are we asking? Like Hashem, you know, this Mishkan, the concept of a temple should be forever. And that's what we want. And that's what we have, right? In the end, right? When the third temple comes, that's it. It's forever. No more having to worry about that. What does that really mean? We're really saying that we want forever, Hashem, that you will be among us. The idea of the temple is Hashem living with us. Like it's his home kind of on planet Earth. That's what it really is, okay? And that's what we're saying we hope. And the idea of hands and hands is, why do we want this temple? Why do we want what we do to be established forever? Because we want a relationship. And just like a mother holds a baby's hands and you know, husbands and wives holds hands. And you know, when you want to help someone cross the street, you hold their hand. So it's yedidus. It's like a very loving kind of friendship, and that's what we're talking about too. Okay, then we went to the next paragraph, and the next paragraph is another one of the chapters in Psalms, and we said it was chapter 91. Okay, and what was it basically talking about? It's written by Moshe. It's a psalm that was written by Moshe Rabbeinu, and it basically talks about a person who really has a lot of faith in Hashem. And when you have a lot of faith in Hashem, then Hashem becomes your shadow. The more you believe, the more Hashem comes in. And that's like a very, very important reality for us to believe. So I would do something smart. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's when you invite Hashem in. So which means 24/7, right? A lot of people will only have faith in Hashem only when things are bad. They get really scared and they've tried everything and now that's it. And the only, you know, place to go to is Hashem. So the amount of faith that you put in, the amount of awareness that you put in when it comes to your relationship with Hashem is the amount that you get back. Do you understand that? It's reciprocal. That's what it means. Like Hashem is your shadow. You're holding one hand and another hand. You reach out with your hand. That's how you get another hand. You kind of reach out. People aren't sure if they should be shaking your hand. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's an important idea. And why is this important before you go to sleep? Like it's heavy duty on Emunah. Like today you're going to learn a lot of stuff about Emunah. So why heavy duty on Emunah before you go to sleep? Think about it more than any other time.
To make sure that you wake up. I don't know.
Okay, to make sure that you wake up. In other words, you want this close relationship that Hashem says, okay, you went to bed believing in me, now I'll let you get up in the morning. Okay, and why else? Why else?
We have gone through a whole day. We can sit and think what we have done and what should be done. And
good, beautiful. Okay, it's a good, like it's the end of the day, right? So now you're going to reflect back and you're going to realize like the good, the bad, and the ugly of your day is all coming from Hashem, and you want to trust in him. You're going to sleep. It's a dark time. It's scary. You have to let go. All of us love to be in charge. That's what we love it. We like, it's a passion that we all have. I want to be in charge. And Hashem keeps saying, I'm in charge. Let go and let God, right? There's a big expression, let go and let God. Okay, so that's that chapter in Tehillim. So now I'm going to share the screen with you, okay? Because we're going to learn the next part Okay, so I just want to make sure. Does everybody see this properly? Everybody seeing this? Yep. Okay. So when you look at this next paragraph, so look at it in Hebrew, and it says Hashem ma rabu tsarai. Oh Hashem, I have so many troubles. Okay. So you could see it on the English part. So I want to get you for the English part. It says Hashem. Okay, here where you see the English, it's this second paragraph. It says Hashem the Lord. How many are they that trouble me? Like, they're just like, I'm full of people chasing me. I'm full of people, having problems. Wait 1 second. I think, okay, I don't know. I'm just wondering if Gina was trying to get in. Hold on. Let me just see. No, I don't see. She just sent like an email, but it wasn't. Okay, maybe something else. Okay, so here's what's going on. We're going to read it together, okay? So the part that you see in your card, the part that you would see in your Siddur starts from, this is line 2. So this number 3 stands for the fact that this is Psalm number 3. This is number 2, starts for the fact that this is the line. This line is where it starts in your blue card, okay? So for some reason, Mizmor LeDavid, right? Bivracho mipanav Avshalom beno. A psalm of David when he fled from his son Avshalom. That doesn't seem to be put into this, because that's not what we're trying to get out of it. We're not looking, it's just an interesting idea. We're not looking here for the historical context. We're not like, this psalm was written by David HaMelech at one of the worst times in his life. He's 65 years old. Does anybody know how old he was when he died? Anybody know?
71.
70, close. Okay, very proud of you. So he was 70 when he died. So 65 is very close to the end of his death. So the king is supposed to be who takes over for David. Who's supposed to be the king who takes over? Which son?
The oldest.
Not really. Who is it? Shlomo HaMelech. He has a lot of wives, David HaMelech, right? So the king is going to come from his wife Bathsheba, and that's Shlomo HaMelech, right? So there are other sons who rebel against him, and they actually try to steal the throne while David is still alive. Could you imagine? You imagine having a son who comes to kill you and take the throne from you. Like, it is such a scary reality, and it's such a depressing, like, if you could even think about it, like, that would rip the heart of every parent. Like, your own child comes to rebel against you. Like, I don't think you could have a bigger test than that one. Okay, so what would you need to survive it? So let me give you the historical background. Not only is his young, handsome, good-looking son going against him, tons of people in the kingdom are going against him. Tons of people are backing this Avshalom. And David HaMelech is left with like a handful of people, and he's 65 years old. Okay? He really can't battle this. He's not going to win this. The only way he wins in the end is through his Amunah. And that's what you're going to see through this paragraph, this chapter, of Tehillim. That's what you're going to see. That the only way he ends up winning is through Amunah. So forget about the historical background. You have to go to bed, every one of us. Mirz Hashem, we all go to bed tonight. And a lot of us have worries. Anybody have any worries on their head? Anybody worried about their children, worried about their finances, worried about their health, worried about this, worried about the state of the world, worried about, the inflation numbers came out on Friday. They're higher than they've been in 39 years, like something bizarre like that. Okay, worried about COVID. Like, anybody have worries? Yeah, we all have worries, right? So how do you go to bed? So this psalm is going to teach you. This is why you say this psalm for your bedtime Shema. This is going to teach you. You think you had worries? Guess what David HaMelech had? Okay, when he wrote this psalm, he had a lot more worries than any of us do. Okay, and what saved him from all his worries is his Amunah. Okay, and so now we're going to read this psalm, and then we're going to learn, we're going to go like sentence by sentence. We're going to get the insights of the psalm, and then we get these insights for us to be able to sleep. Okay, so Kathy, could you, if you wouldn't mind, could you just read in like, even in English, like this line number 2, okay?
Sure.
Okay,
O Lord, my foes are so many. Many are those who attack me.
okay. So in each and every one of our lives, we have something called foes, okay? So what are the enemies? What are the things that give you worries? What would you look out, like when you look out there and you have to talk about, you're looking at your life, okay? So we don't have the foes that David HaMelech has. I mean, Baruch Hashem, we don't have an army of people coming against us, right? As far as, you know, as far as we know, thank Hashem, who takes care of even the enemies we don't know. But what are things that are your enemy? Like, I'm being honest, like, what are the things that, you know, swim in your head at night? Give me an
Gail, Gina's trying to get in, she said. She just called me now.
Okay, so she is. Okay, so I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to let her in, but I don't see her. Like, I don't see her name. So I'm waiting. So I'll
Okay.
wait. I'll keep it here. Thank you very much for letting me know. Tell her to keep trying because the other people did pop up. Okay, so here, let me explain like this. And if not, Leora, tell her that you'll keep your phone on speaker. Is that okay, Leora?
Sure,
Yeah?
no problem. Sure.
Okay, so now I'm asking again, let me know out there, what are the enemies of your sleep? Besides your hormones and your lack of estrogen. Okay.
Work.
Okay, let's hear. Yes, Amita, what did you say?
Work, our colleagues.
Okay, so your work and what else? Sorry?
The colleagues at work. The people who we work with.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, perfect. People who you work with can make you crazy. You can't sleep at night. Barb, well, who else?
Your own thoughts, your own demons.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I love that one. Your own demons, your own insecurities, your own, like, I'm a loser, I'm hopeless, and I'm never going to get this, I'm never getting that, like all that negative talk. Beautiful. So we are surrounded by the same foes. So it's not like, you know, just because David HaMelech's were like a, you know, maybe a more physical in an army, don't think that we don't have the same. And when it says many here, the Torah tells you that the people that he was referring to are like very strong. They're physically strong. Let's say it's your boss. That's a hard one because the boss or the people around you, you kind of feel like you're subordinate to them. Do you know what I mean? Like you're forced to have to listen to them. You know what I mean? You have to make them like you. And, you know, if your work isn't good enough and this and that, like, so it's tough, right? Right? So, and also in his case, it was very, very heart-wrenching because his foe was his own brother, his own son. And his foe was his own generals who like defected and went onto his son's side. People who were learned, people who were strong, you know, it's hard. So we're going to sleep and we're saying to Shem, like, help, you know, we have a lot of this stuff. There's so much stuff. There's so many things that are making me stay up, so many worries. So line 3, Barb, what does he say? What does David HaMelech write for us?
There is no deliverance for him through God.
Selah, which is just, Selah is a word. It's interesting. They say that they think it really is. A lot of Tehillim was meant to be sung. The word Selah means like say it loud. Okay, there's one, I didn't put this out properly, so I want to do this now. Okay, so that's why you missed it. Many say of me, okay, there is no deliverance for him through God. Okay, so a lot of these enemies, like a lot of the voices in your head, they tell you no one's going to save you, not even Hashem. There were a lot of enemies of David HaMelech who said, you know what, we're going to go against him. You know why? Because he sinned. David HaMelech had done something that was considered not 100% proper for him. When he married Bathsheba and he allowed Bathsheba's husband to be on the front line and he ended up being killed. He saw prophetically that he was supposed to marry Bathsheba and that they would have Shlomo Melech, the future king, but he misinterpreted the timing, okay? So for who he was, it was a mistake. So all these people who are going against him now, like they're like rubbing their hands together, like, ha, 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 now we got him because even God wouldn't be on his side. Now look at the name of God that they use here. Okay, what name is this? Elohim, right? So what does the name Elohim mean? What does that, what kind of manifestation of Hashem's attribute is Elohim?
Isn't it mercy?
No, try again.
Is it Father? Father?
Nope, try again. What's Elohim?
All powerful, no?
Oh, yes.
Judgment. It's judgment.
Yes, excellent, Sandy. So it is all powerful, but it's also mostly judgment. Okay, so really, right? Okay, so here, these guys, okay, here's your enemies, and they're looking at you. Okay, so let's say you made a mistake, right? You've done something. They go, you know what? There's such, her and her God business. You know what I mean? Like, forget it. Her God wouldn't even help her. She's like such a loser. She's done so many stupid things. Even their God wouldn't help them. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like there's stories like this. It's very funny. I remember once reading this story years and years ago where there was an Arab prisoner. He was in an Israeli prison, and the guard was eating a sandwich. And the Arab said to this Jewish guard, "You're eating a sandwich? What day is it?" They said X day. So he goes, "What Jewish holiday is it?" He said, "It's Passover." He said, "You're eating a sandwich on Passover? Then I'm going to tell you, we will win the next war." Okay, if you don't remember, the guard said, who you are, and you don't remember that there's a Pesach, then you don't know what you're fighting for. We're going to win the next war. So it's interesting. So here David HaMelech is saying, like, all my troubles, they're making me crazy. All these people are coming around me, right? They're saying Hashem, the God of judgment. Like sometimes we look at ourselves and say, like, why would God save me? Like, what do I do? Why should God give me anything? Like, who am I? I'm not a great rabbi. I'm not a great this. I just screamed at this person. I just said gossip. I just, forgot my bracha. I do this, I do that. Hashem could never help me. So now what does number 4 say? So here, Amita, I'm going to move it so you see the English better. Okay, so what does number 4 say?
But you, O Lord, are the shield for me, my glory, he who holds my head high.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're getting all these, bad feelings, and we're feeling like, what's going on, and I can't sleep, and no one's going to help me, and everyone's going to tell me that God's going to judge me, this God of judgment, I'm a loser. And then David says something very, very important. Va'ata Hashem. What does the Yud Kei Vav Kei name of Hashem mean? Jody, you got it. You said it last time. What is it? Jody, are you there?
Is it mercy?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, Jody. So what did you say last time? You were right, Kathy. And Jody, what did you say last time? So the Yud Kei Vav Kei name of Hashem is God.
Oh, it's Rachamim.
Yes, beautiful.
Like
Okay, so
is mercy.
is mercy. So how am I going to sleep? I'm going to sleep. I'm going to say to myself, you know what, God? It's not about everything that I did. It's not. Because I can't be perfect. And I'm sorry that I did wrong things. That's how you started. You started your Kriya Shema by trying to do tshuva, right? You started by saying, I hereby forgive anyone, and please God, forgive me, and I don't want to do anything bad again, right? Right? That's how I started. So in this line, I'm already saying, you know what, Hashem? Shield me just out of your mercy, because I have faith in you, and only you can restore, you can help me keep my head up high. So the side of you, the Yetzer Hara side that says, oh, you're a loser, and you're a failure, and you're so you're going to say, no. Hashem has faith in me. Hashem has mercy in me. Hashem is my shield. Okay? So now I really want to talk to you what a shield is, because we're going to learn a lot of beautiful ideas here. So a shield here, we're talking about Hashem is my supporter and he's my shield. That's when my head can go up. So firstly, according to the Chasam Sofer and Rabbi Hirsch, you're going to see how the name changes. That's what I was trying to point out to you.
Mhm.
Okay, so the person, the trouble, the people who say bad about you, they're the ones who are judging you, and they give you this feeling like, you know, Hashem is all judgment, and if you don't live up to this and you don't do this and you're not the best, and he's not going to take care of you. And David Melch says, no, sorry, wrong. Hashem has a lot of mercy. Right? Hashem has a lot of mercy, and he really loves us. And when we really say that we're sorry and that really all we're trying to do is the next right thing, and we really are just a work in progress, then you can go to sleep and know that Hashem is there to shield you. And that's what David HaMelech is trying to teach you. Like David HaMelech is saying, yeah, I admit it. Okay, I admit I did a sin. I did something wrong. For the kind of person that I am, I shouldn't have taken Bathsheba at that time. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm doing tshuva for it. I recognize it. I accept it. I don't take, and I don't take responsibility of doing something wrong and throwing it at somebody else and going, what do you mean, God? It wasn't me. If you wouldn't have put Bathsheba there, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. I accept it. I accept that I made a mistake today. I accept it. And I want to be better tomorrow. So he's saying when you do this, then you know Hashem sees you. He is trying to be merciful to you, and he will want to shield you. Okay? Now, Rabbeinu Yonah goes even farther. Okay? So Rabbeinu Yonah says, and this is very important for us to understand, okay? That if you're the kind of person, when trouble comes to you, right? What do you say? What do you say? I want to hear, like from all the Muna and everything that we've been learning, what should you be saying when things come to you that are really not good? Okay.
Gamzula Tova.
Okay, so what is
Hashem, please help me.
okay?
I can't do this without you.
Okay, so Hashem, please help me.
This is also for the good.
This is also for the good. What else? Okay, so first and foremost, it's all coming from you, God. Okay, that's first and foremost, okay? And that once you frame everything with that, then life is a different place. You can see that with the Parsha, right? With Yosef and the brothers. If Yosef would not have framed, like everybody listen really, if Yosef would not have framed that everything that happened to him came from Hashem, I'm going to tell you now, there would be no Jewish people. Do you understand? Those were the founding families of the Jewish nation. Had they split up right then and there, when those brothers came, what could Yosef have done? He could have blown his lid and he could have killed every one of them, whichever way he wanted. He could have wiped out the entire family. And you know what? A lot of people wouldn't have blamed him. They had his blood on their hands. Like, I'm being honest, okay? When they go down to Egypt, they said, okay, we're going to go look for Yosef. Does anybody know where they said they were going to go look for him? Does anybody know where they thought they would find him in Egypt? Believe me, not in the palace.
Was it in the pit?
In brothels for boys. He was a gorgeous looking man. The Torah tells you he was the most handsome man that ever lived. Okay? Like unbelievable handsome, beyond anything. And so that's what they thought he would be in the end. Okay, so now how in the world is he capable of making peace with the whole story? Because he says, like he says 1,000 times in the Chumash, it was all from Hashem. Hashem wanted it this way. This was how the dream would have to be fulfilled. I would have to go down to Egypt, go to the pits, to the lowest places, and then rise all the way to the top. And then you would come like we had in the dream, like you were so jealous, like you, thought I was a treacherous person. You would bow down to me and I would have to sustain you, just like it said in the dream, right? Now, if he would have said that this was not from Hashem, finished. By saying that it was from Hashem, do you understand the glorious individual he became? He saved the Jewish people. Do you know what I mean? He saved the world. If he would have been bitter and this and that, he never would have been able to do it. Because he kept saying everything is coming from Hashem, even when he was in prison, he had a positive attitude. He was kind to people. He gave to people. He always had hope. right? Because he had that kind of personality, he ended up talking to the butler and the baker, right? And he ends up interpreting their dreams, and he ends up being in charge of the prison, just like he was in charge of everything in Potiphar's house. So it's a very big thing. When something bad happens to you, the first thing is it's coming from Hashem.
Mhm.
It's not easy because some of these bad things are horrific. They're horrific, some of these bad things. They're not easy. They're coming from Hashem. So David HaMelech is standing with a son that is about to kill his own father and steal the throne, right? And David HaMelech says, no, there's nobody, it's all good. You're going to save me. Even if the whole world says you're not, I know you are, because you're close to me, Hashem. I believe in you, and I'm trying to work for you. I'm on your team. Even when, who sent Avshalom to do this? It's you. Yeah, Avshalom makes bad choices, and Avshalom will pay for his choices, but David still suffers. Do you get it? So yes, you can have people in your life who will pay for their wrongdoing. Don't think they won't, but you still had to be part of that story, right? So now the question is, how do you react to that part of the story? So David HaMelech says, I accept that if this is happening to me, there's multiple reasons. One is I deserve it. Maybe I'm getting a cleansing, right? That's what we say. Punishments cleanse you in this world so that you can have an eternity of bliss, right? And the Torah tells you over and over and over, better to be punished in this world than to be punished in the next. Like, we get these little things in our heads, like, okay, big deal, go to the next, and, so 11 months in Gehenna, how bad can that be? The Torah tells you it can be very bad, okay? Worse than any punishment in this world, okay? So let's just be smart, all right? So what's going on here? So either you say that, or you say, this is my opportunity for growth, but this acceptance in and of itself is your ticket to greatness and your ticket to this Magen David, this shield of David, okay? So you're accepting it from Hashem with goodwill. And this is your greatest shield against all the trouble that you may be feeling right now and any future trouble that was supposed to come your way. Okay, so now we're going to look at this idea of the Magen David. So when I say Magen David, besides the wine, okay, what else do people think about? Okay, what else do you think about? The real
The
deal.
Star of David.
Yes, does anybody have one on them? Okay, okay, all right.
Shield of David.
Yeah, okay, so this Star of David, this Magen David, is a very Jewish symbol. Okay, so where do we see it more than anywhere else?
A flag.
Yes, the flag of Israel. Okay, yes, the Magen David. All right, when you go into shuls, a lot of times you'll see, the curtain over the Torah will have like a Magen David. Does everybody know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, okay, we see it all the time. People have like jewelry. People wear it as a Jewish symbol. So if you want to know where it came from, now you know. Okay, it comes from this Tehillim. All right, so Rav Moshe Feinstein of blessed memory, great rabbi, so he talks about it. Okay, so he talks about this idea of the Magen David, and it's sourced in the concept of David HaMelech. Okay, so where is it sourced? It's very, very interesting. When you're going to finish this whole Tehillim, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but this is all about his Amunah, and this is how he ended up fighting against his son. He was too old and there wasn't enough people on his side to even try to go to battle. So he didn't. He just said, I am going to trust in you, Hashem. I know I'm supposed to live longer. I know that Shlomo Melech is supposed to be on the throne. I am not going to get petrified over this because I know you are the one. You are my shield. So what did David HaMelech say? You are my shield from the north to the south, from the east to the west, from below and from above. And that's why the Magen David has this, like I'm doing this because that's one of it, right? And then the other one is, right? It's two triangles on top of each other, right? So if you look at the two triangles on top of each other, 6 points. So every time you look now at a Magen David, I want you to have a whole new look at it. So it's not just like a pretty twinkle, twinkle little star that happens to be Jewish, okay? It's a different thing. It's a star that means Hashem is watching all of you. He's watching all, he's got your back, he's got your front, he's got your side, he's got this side, he's on top, he's below. He is surrounding us. This Magen David, the shield of David, is surrounding you with Hashem's protection, okay? So that's like a really beautiful idea. And how does this protection come? Always because of your emunah, okay? So the shield doesn't work if you don't believe in it. If you believe in Hashem as protecting you, then you are shielded. And what about if you get hit? Okay, you got this amazing shield, but somehow something penetrated. So what do you still have to think?
From God, it's from Hashem.
Yeah.
It is all
So
coming from
I
Hashem.
can still get out of it. I am still shielded. Okay. All right. So perfect. That's what I want you to look at. Okay. So I just want to see what the next thing is. So now let's go to line 5. Okay. So it's a beautiful idea. I just want to bring up one other thing about the Magen David. There's another time that it says, like we say it every day, heads up, giving you a hint, 3 times a day. And we say, Baruch atah Hashem Magen
Abraham.
Yes. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now we know. Okay, Hashem will shield Abraham. Hashem shields David. It's all in the merit of their emunah. Okay, so it's just good for us to, we got to have these concepts in our head, because you have to be your own psychiatrist. Okay, I'm telling you that now. Like Rav Noach Weinberg of blessed memory, he used to say, you don't have to spend money on a therapist. You can be your own therapist. How are you going to be your own therapist? You have to talk to yourself. Like, does anybody believe me? Okay, you have to talk to yourself 24/7. But what are you going to talk to yourself with? You have to have the wisdom to living. You have to have Torah's wisdom. So when you feel yourself being pulled down, or you feel yourself full of worry, or you feel yourself you're not going to be able to make it, then you can talk to yourself. So like there is, in every morning you're saying, Baruch atah Hashem Magen Avraham. We have faith in you. You shield us. We believe. What was Abraham? He always believed in every promise Hashem made him, but he never saw them come true. He didn't see them in his lifetime come true, but he believed that they will. Do you see what I mean? He always had faith, right? So imagine, and Baruch Hashem, he got to see that he had children. But for so many years, 70 years, if not more, he doesn't have kids. And Hashem keeps telling him, you're going to be a great nation. Okay. And finally, at 100, he has a baby. Okay. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's, you're holding on a long time. So this is what we have to understand. Okay. So we have to develop this incredible kind of faith. Okay. So now look. Okay. So now we're going on to number 5. So who could read? Who didn't read? Jody, you want to read? Are you able to see it? I don't know if it's so clear. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I cry aloud to the Lord. Now, okay, so Jody, I'm not going to make you crazy because it's very teeny tiny. Okay, you have to unmute. You have to unmute. Jody, unmute. Oh. Okay. You have to unmute, Jody. Poor girl.
Okay, I can do it now.
Yes. Go ahead.
I cry aloud to the Lord, and he answers me from his holy mountain Selah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Koli El Hashem, I cry out loud to the Lord. So if you take a look, a lot of times you see that. I just cry. Okay, so I don't even have to articulate. It's all my emotions. I cry out. The same thing with Yosef. Before he reveals himself, he tells all of the people who were from Egypt. So all the Egyptians, doesn't want to embarrass the brothers, right? And now he's about to reveal himself to his brothers. So what does he do? He lets all of his emotion out with a cry. Instead of like screaming and yelling at them, which he could have easily done, like, you terrible guys, guess who I am and I'm going to get you. He just cries. He just cries from all the pain and all the this and all the that. So this is what David Melech is saying. I just cry to who? Which Hashem is he crying to? Which one?
God
Zealous.
of mercy,
Well, this one, Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Who is that?
the God of mercy.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for us to know. Hashem has mercy. You know, my son was asking me today, what's the difference between empathy and sympathy? Right? Empathy is you really feel it. You know, you feel for sympathy is like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. See you later. Empathy is, oh my gosh, that must be so painful. You know, I can't say I know exactly what you're going through, but I once felt that way. What can I do for you? That's the very big difference. Okay. So when most people, when somebody cries, what do you feel?
Empathy for them.
Yes, you feel empathy, you feel compassion, right? You know, even when you're in the mall and somebody like a little kid is crying, like you turn around and you want to know like what's wrong, right? Right? Then when you find out it's not your kid, you're like, yes, okay. But first, there's a little bit of empathy. Okay. So this is what we're saying. Hashem is going to answer me from his holy mountain, could be, you know, Har HaMoriah, from the Kotel, could be anywhere here. That's not the significant part for us. But for us, it's Hashem, I'm just going to cry out to you. That's all. That's it. I have my tzuris, I have my this, I have my that. I'm just going to simply call out to you. And David Melech is saying that cry of sincere faith and sincere prayer translates into an answer from Hashem. Okay? Then he can answer you. So what's he trying to tell you here? If you don't cry, he can't. And that's how it is. So it's just important for us to know, like, you know, why isn't Hashem helping me? Did you ask? It's a good question. Did you ask? Okay, so now look at line number 6. So Liora, do you want to read line number 6, please?
Sure.
Okay, good. So I'll put it separate. There it goes. Okay, look at number 6.
Lie down and sleep and wake again.
Okay, I lie down and I sleep and wake again. Go ahead. What's the next part?
For the Lord sustains me.
Okay, so this is huge. Okay, and now you can understand. Now we're really putting this in the context of the bedtime Shema, right? Because most of the time, when you have a lot of worry and you don't have a lot of faith and you're just kind of ruminating in your head and it's going over and over and over, you can't lie down and sleep, right? And if you kind of haven't put your angst to bed before you go to bed, so to speak, when you wake up with it. Like I really find, I was really seeing it, like the way you go to bed is often the way you wake up. Does anybody know what I mean? Like if you Netflixed and ate, 500 chocolate bars and then you wake up the next day, the way you went to bed is the way you wake up. Okay? So this is a really, really big thing. I lie down and sleep and wake up again, for the Lord sustains me. So what does that mean? So here is, Radak says that each action shows a sincere faith in Hashem. Person has a lot of angst or does like a lot of service, and they say, you know what am I doing? Like, why am I worrying about this? This is not mine. I can't do this. This is what's so beautiful when we continue with this psalm, you'll see. Like, I can't really do this. These are beyond me. They really are. Like, even my personality, my character, I'm having a lot of trouble. I could only manage this if Hashem will help me. That's all. I can't. I know I can't do this on my own. I need you. I really need you. And you know what? I've recognized that. And I know that that's what I need to connect to you and to get this answer from you. So I'm confident it's going to be okay. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm going to sleep. So Torah tells you that when you go to bed, like just with this little smile on your face, like all good. Okay, I know Hashem, you're going to help me. It's all good, no problem. And you go to sleep and you put your pajamas on. I know this sounds crazy, but this is good for us to use it as a trigger. Okay, so from now on, it's Moira Kurzner gave me this word. She said it's like a hook. You're going to hook Amuna to your pajamas. Okay. It sounds so funny, but it's such a nice idea. That's what he says. You put your pajamas on with a lot of Amuna. Like, Hashem, you've got my back. I don't have to have this anymore. I don't have to worry about my kid and their shidduch and my this and my that and blah, blah, blah. Going to sleep, calling it a day. The day's over. I tried whatever I could do. It's all up to you anyway. I'm just doing my hishtadlus because this is a world of reality that you told us we have to. But we know the end results are yours. That's it. Going to sleep. Night. It's your headache. I have faith in you. And I can put my pajamas on and I can go to sleep. So crazy. He was in mortal danger. Like, let's be real. You're on the run. Here's David HaMelech. He's on the run. Any minute, his son, with this army of people, and I'm talking a strong, healthy army of people, could come to get him. So most people, I'm going to tell you, would not sleep. They would have a bodyguard up all night, and they'd be dressed in their clothes, ready to run. Does that make sense to you? Yes. Okay, and David HaMelech is saying, no, I have faith in you, Hashem. I'm going to bed. You worry about this. Right? It's like an unbelievable story. So he goes to bed like a man free of worries. And even when I awake, he says, he is calm. Right? Because he didn't fall asleep in anguish. It wasn't like he went to sleep and tosses and turns and has these terrible nightmares. And then, you wake up because you've been like thinking about these horrible things that are going to happen to you. Right? And therefore you can't sleep with ease. So David HaMelech says, let it go. Brush your teeth, wash your face, put on your pajamas. Thank you, Hashem. I did what I could do. The rest is yours. I'm going to sleep because I trust you. It's an unbelievable reality. Like, you got to work. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you a story of the Brisker Rav. Does anybody know? Okay, so the Brisker Rav, he passed away already. He was Harav Yitzchak Zev Soloveitchik. So he was very, very, very famous, brilliant man. And what was he very famous for was he escaped from the Holocaust with his family. And he escaped purely on Emunah. Now, I'm not going to say that we can reach these levels, all right? But we can for who we are. Like, it doesn't mean our levels would translate the way his level translates. But for who you are, you can have Emunah. So you've got to hear what this is crazy. So he was during World War II. He's in Warsaw. That's where my parents were. And it was terrible. It was trapped. Warsaw was a ghetto. There's a very famous stories of the Warsaw ghetto. Okay, the Nazis are everywhere. It's besieged. People are starving. Bombs are hitting all day long. You're being bombed, buildings crushed, this and that, right? And you will not believe this. No one could sleep. But what did the Brisker Rav say? I'm not changing my schedule at all. I get up, I go to daven, I go to learn, I do what I have to do. And at night, nobody else did this. He put his pajamas on. He said, I learned this from David HaMelech. This is why he did it. He said, because in this Tehillim says that David HaMelech went to sleep and everything was fine. And then he awoke the next day. The way he went to bed is the way he woke up. Could you imagine? So they say he was the only person. They could hardly believe it. He would put on his bed clothes for a normal night's sleep. He explained, so I'm quoting this, he explained that in times of great peril, there is a special obligation to remain serene and to openly display tranquility. Only thus can one proclaim his total confidence in the protection of Hashem. And he said the proof for this is this Tehillim and the fact that this Tehillim is written in your bedtime Shema. Okay? So you're going to put those PJs on and we're going to sleep. And we're going to take our worries and we're going to say, Hashem, we trust that you'll take care of them because no one else can. I can't work on my worries at night. I know I can't do it. There's nothing for me to do in terms of hishtadlus. So I'm going to give them to you, right? Just like David HaMelech gave them to you, just like the Brisker Rav gave them to you. In the end, the Brisker Rav with his family made it. I'll tell you stories another time because they'll blow your mind when it comes to what Emunah means. Like it's hard to believe, okay? So it's interesting. If you look, you read like Rabbi Zelig Pliskin, he writes a lot about if you go to sleep and you let go of these things, right? You let go of all the troubles and you kind of like rest in Hashem's arms. Like you say, you know what? I gave my bedtime Shema. Like now these words mean a lot more to me. Like I've been trying to really say the bedtime Shema with much more feeling. And once you understand the words and they have a much deeper, message for you, then you really kind of can go to sleep. And let's practice now, like now when things are really good. Like, we do have tzuris, all of us, but we're still all here. Okay, Baruch Hashem, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. We can work on it. You know what I mean? Like we have the ability right now to work on this. So this is the time to work on it. So the Rabbi Pliskin says, if you can go to sleep and get a good night's sleep, what's the next day like?
A good day.
Yeah, a good day, a much healthier day. So how are we going to be able to do it? Okay, so we might have to take some melatonin, whatever, we all have our issues, fine. But that's not going to help without this. I lie down and sleep and awake again, for the Lord sustains me. That's why. It's Hashem who keeps us going. So it's just, I think, such a beautiful idea. Okay, that's what we said. The way you go to sleep is the way you wake up. Okay, just like you believe Hashem is merciful, he'll take care of you when you're sleeping. He's going to wake you up with mercy also. Why? Because it's his mercy, his mogain, that hits his shield that really protects us. Okay, now this is going to get a little tougher. Okay, so number 7, there wasn't anything that was a real commentary on it. It says, I have no fear of the myriad forces arrayed against me on every side. So here was David HaMelech saying, I'm not afraid. Like I've got all these soldiers and everybody coming against me on every side. I'm not worried because the Mogain David covers me on every side. Okay, now number 8. Okay, so here's going to be a lot to talk about when it comes to bitachon. Okay, so who could read number 8? Let me see who is on the line here. Debbie, you want to read number 8? Are you good? No, you're not. Sore throat. Okay, we love you, Debbie. Okay, Sandy. Okay, Sandy, could you read number 8?
Right, Lord, deliver me, oh my God, for you slap all my enemies in the face.
Okay, so I know what it was cheek. They used cheeks, so that was the word in the Tehillim. Okay, and what else do you do?
Could you move the cursor, please?
Sure.
You break the teeth of the wicked.
Okay, perfectly. You did it great. So now let's take a look. Okay, so here's what the Mitzudas David says. Okay, so he says it very interesting. Kuma Hashem, rise, O Lord. So it could sound a little chutzpahdik, like it's rise, O Lord, deliver me, oh my God. So what's going on here? Here, you are asking Hashem to help you, right? Why? It's only fair. Like I'm taking myself and I'm saying, I put all my faith in you, Hashem. That's what I'm saying, right? I put all my faith in you. So if I put all my faith in you, it's only fair that you do what?
Deliver me.
Yeah. It's only fair that you deliver me. So, it's interesting. It could sound kind of what? What can that sound like? Is he putting, like, is it a guilt trip on Hashem? That's what I'm asking you. Is this a guilt trip on Hashem? Can we use this? Like, can we say this in our own lives? So what's going on here? Like, how can he kind of like have the chutzpah to say it?
Because he believes like perhaps he believes tit for tat,
Okay.
like,
Yeah, like, okay, because there's so many times when Hashem says, I'm your shadow. I do, you know what I mean? So you're my shadow, right, Hashem? So please stand up. It's very, very interesting. Like, Kuma Hashem Hoshi Aini. Okay, we have to appreciate also with David HaMelech knew, he had like prophets and prophets around him. He understands, like, even prophetically, like, Shlomo Melech is the one who has to be, it's his son Shlomo. So he's kind of saying, look, Hashem, I know prophetically, I'm putting my faith in your prophecies. I'm putting my faith in your promises. That's what's going on here. So please, Hashem, like, fulfill them. Rise, O Lord, and do it, right? I'm putting my faith in this, right? This is your promise. So once Hashem has promised you something, and we have like an idea that it's coming from Hashem, then it's okay to say, like, excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, could we have it? So the same thing, like, there's a prayer that we say when we want Mashiach, like, you ever hear, how like Chabad does that song? That song is interesting. What is it? We want Mashiach
Now.
now. What kind of chutzpah is that? We want Mashiach, fine. You're going to tell Hashem now? like a little kid goes to his parents, and goes, I want my candy now. What do the parents say? Well, chutzpahnik. So when can kid say to his parents, I want my candy now? When the parents promised, I'm giving it to you now. When it comes to Mashiach, like Hashem says, Mashiach can come any minute. So if Mashiach can come any minute, then I want him
Now.
now. Okay, so the same thing here. This isn't chutzpah at all. Rise up, Hashem, like you promised, right? I know for the prophecy that I am supposed to live for another 5 years. I know that my son is supposed to take over the reign. I know that this isn't supposed to be happening. Please, Hashem, rise up now. Okay, so we can say these kinds of things to Hashem. Okay, so it's not a guilt trip, it's not anything, it's just being very real. Okay, so the same thing, like when we come to asking for the geula. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a really hard trip. Okay, this is very hard. Had a hard time understanding it, and so I'm going to read it, and we're going to go through it word for word together because it's tough. So we're just going to stop for a minute, and we're going to look at what real bitachon is, because it's a very hard question. Like a lot of people say, is bitachon me believing everything is going to be good? What is real bitachon? Right? Because a lot of times, like, is real bitachon saying, because I believe, everything's going to be great, then now Hashem has to make everything great because I believe it, right? He's my shadow. So if he's my shadow and I say, I believe that, I'm going to win $1 million, I'm buying the lottery ticket and I'm winning $1 million. Now I have to win $1 million. Imagine if every one of us said it at the same time. We're all going, this is the ticket that's gonna win. Okay, we all have belief. So like, so hard, right? And then like, let's say we do what Amita, you were saying, like when we're talking about bitachon before, you said bitachon is gamzu letova, like this too is for the best. So I think we really, really want to understand what it means. Like in reality, true faith, okay, so I'm going to read it to you, in Hashem does not mean that one should believe that Hashem will always cause the result which the faithful desire. So what does that mean? So like somebody explain what I just said. Unmute and explain that.
Basically what it means that as much as you can daven and as much as you can pray and as much as you can have emunah and bitachon and believe in Hashem, Hashem is only going to do what he thinks is best for you.
Perfect. Okay.
Regardless of whether you think it's best.
Beautiful. Okay, so amazing. Like Jody, you get like the big star. You get the mug and David for tonight. Okay. So no, she does. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. So genuine faith is the conviction, listen carefully, that whatever happens is a response to Hashem's wish, and it's not a coincidence. So, like whatever's going to happen, you have a muna for this and you have a muna for that. That's great. So, like whatever, I have a muna, I'm going to get this job promotion, like for sure. Oh, I know, Hashem, I'm davening all day. This is what I want. Please. I know I'm going to use it only for good things. I'll get more money. I'll give charity. I'll do everything. And I'll be the nicest person on the job. And I really believe that you could do this for me. And then the promotion goes to somebody else. Okay. Right? So you're like, what do you mean? Is it got my shadow? Okay, so what's going on here? So it's like, really at the end, you have to say, well, it's not because the other guy was a sneak, and it's not because the other guy, filled the ballot box wrong. It's not because of any of those things. It's not a coincidence. This is what Hashem said has to be, right? So yes, you can have amuna, but amuna also means that even if it isn't exactly what I wanted, then that really wasn't good for me. I have to believe that Hashem understood it better than I did. And it's good, it's a blessing that he didn't listen to my prayers. Sometimes a person can be like addicted to drugs, they just sit there and daven to Hashem, give me more, hit me again, give me more pot, give me more this, give me more that. Please God, I just want more drugs. And God doesn't give it to him. And he's like so mad. But really, it was the best thing God ever did. Maybe God gets him arrested even for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's that. So the genuine faith, right? So God's will may or may not coincide with the wishes of those who trust in him, right? Therefore, rise up, Hashem, the merciful one. Now listen carefully. Save me, my God. Now, if you take a look, let's look at the words again. Okay, I feel bad. Okay, we're going to have to continue next week, and we might review this part because it's very deep. Okay, so let's look again. Rise up. Okay, Kuma Hashem, Hoshi'eni. Which name of God is this one? This is weird. Kuma Hashem, God of mercy. This is what I want so badly, so just give it to me because you're merciful. Then you say Hoshi'eni Elokai, which is the God of judgment. Deliver me, oh my God of judgment. Why would you deliver me? So here's what the chap is. Here's where you could be a little more chutzpahdik, but you still have to believe in the end that whatever Hashem does, he does for the best. But here you put in a little more. When you say, God, even if you would judge me and say, am I worthy for this or am I not worthy for this? Now you got to put some more merit on my side. What merit is that? That I have faith in you. And for that merit of having faith in you, maybe the scale can change. Even if you used judgment, even if you said, well, the person you were before you had this incredible faith, that person doesn't deserve a salvation. But now that you've put faith into this, and you're willing to say, Gamzula Tova, and it's all going to be good, and I only know that you're the only one who can save me. There's nothing else that can save me, Hashem. Oh, now you added an extra mitzvah on the scale. Maybe things have changed. And maybe now, right, even if you were the God of judgment, you could save me, right? You could slap my enemies in their face. You could disgrace them, right? They disgraced me. You can belittle them. You can get rid of Avshalom. At the end, the whole rebellion is crushed. And you can break the teeth of the wicked. What's the teeth of the wicked? Their words. People who are attacking you with their words. People who are attacking you with their rhetoric. Okay, so we're going to leave it for here because it's 9:30. And then next week, Amir Hashem, we'll just finish up a little bit of this and we'll go one more time over the Amuna. But for tonight, let's put on our pajamas with the greatest of joy, right? And with lots of Amuna. We should get pajamas that say, I believe. Okay. Sleep tight, I believe. It would be so cute. Okay. Okay. So, all right, I'm so happy Jody and Sandy are here and they could do the prayer of thanks. So I'm going to stop share and then we can go on gallery. Okay, perfect. You see that? Okay, Baruch Hashem. Now, I'm going to find my prayer of thanks. Okay, here you are. Okay. All right. So Sandy, you want to say who we're davening for?
We're davening for Refuah Shlema for Chaya Yehuda Skittel, Bas Miriam Devora, Charnalea Bas Chaya Vela, Vayasara bas Rivka, Chana bas Freda, Yitzhak Isaac ben Ilana, Raphael David ben Anat Aliza, and Rav Raphael Kalman Michael ben Rachel Yeta Rivka. Jody?
Yes, yes, I just realized that I was on mute. So prayer of thanks. Now I'm no longer on mute. Prayer of thanks. Whoever recites this prayer turns severe judgments into mercy and merits outright miracles from the Creator. Thank you, Hashem, King of Kings and Master of the world. Thank you for the infinite times that you have helped me, supported me, rescued me, encouraged me, cured me, guarded over me, and made me happy. Thank you for always being with me. Thank you for giving me the strength to observe your commandments, to do good deeds, and pray. Thank you for all the times that you helped me, and I didn't know how to say thank you. Thank you for all the loving kindnesses you do for me each and every moment. Thank you for every moment, every breath I breathe. Thank you, Hashem, for all the things that I do have. And thank you, Hashem, even for the things that I don't have. Thank you for my periodic difficulties, my occasional setbacks, and for the times when I just don't feel happy, because everything is for my ultimate benefit, even if I don't feel that it's always for my best. Deep in my heart, I know that everything that comes from you is the very best for me, and it's designed especially for me in precision and exacting divine providence, of which only the King of Kings is capable. Thank you, Hashem, for the periodic times that are difficult for me, for only that way they enable me to fully appreciate the good times, for only after being in the darkness, one can appreciate the light. Thank you for the wonderful life you've given me. Thank you for every little breath every little thing that I have, for everything comes from you and from no one else. Thank you for always listening to my prayers. Creator of the world, I apologize from the bottom of my heart for all the times that I didn't appreciate what you gave me. And instead of thanking you, I only complained. I am dust and ashes, and you are the entire universe. Please don't ever cast me away.
And
That was beautiful. Okay, so Mir Hashem, tomorrow is Great Jewish Women, just like all of you. Okay. True. Okay, so I'll see you guys. Have a wonderful and a good night. Sleep tight, okay? Remember what we learned.
thank you.
Thank you, Galilea.